Hey there, TJ Denzer here, Senior News Editor for Shacknews.com, coming at you with another gameplay preview. I just got back from EVO 2025, one of the most exciting I've been to. It was a blast, and one big reason behind that is that Sony and Arc System Works were out there with the first build of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls!
This was the one I wanted to see the most, and boy howdy, it did not disappoint. This game is the real deal. It is shaping up already in like prototype phases and early alpha phases to be the real deal. It is Marvel tag fighting gaming with like X-Men characters. Oh my god, X-Men characters back in a Marvel fighting game. Hooray. Set in kind of Guilty Gear's visual style and aesthetics. Now for some people that might be a better or worse scenario, but for me, it was an absolute blast.
We've got a high-profile match coming up. In the orange corner, with Star-Lord. At the lead, the Tokon Fighters! In the blue corner, with Storm. Here are the Tokon
This is said to be a 4v4 tag fighter, but it is not entirely that. You start the game with 2 characters apiece, but you pick a team of 4 and you unlock your 3rd and 4th member of your team as the match carries on. And the way that you unlock members of your team as the match carries on is by hitting a throw in the corner, by hitting a super in the corner, or by losing a round. It's kind of like the X Factor in this game in that way, and it'll come into effect in a lot of different forms. Obviously, the basic benefit of this is that you get to have another character in your play that you can switch to as opposed to your point characters. It also gives you another assist in your arsenal because every character has an assist attached to them that you can use to call in, and so it expands your assist arsenal. There's like a symbol attacks in this game and a symbol defense. And the more characters that you have unlocked, the more damaging those things are. And I'll get to them in a bit. For right now, let's talk about like the basics of what we got. So I got to play a little around with Captain America, Tony Stark, Iron Man. I got to play with Storm and Dr. Doom. Like, all of them feel pretty dang good. Like, this game has a little bit of auto combo stuff, kind of similar to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but you have like a lot of options that also make that a little bit nuanced. Like, you have your aerials, you have your air combos and dive kicks, and just the stuff that will take him to the sky, bring him back down. The assists that you have on your characters depends on where you have them in your rotation. So you get a projectile assist, an aerial assist, like a launcher assist, and kind of a support assist. The characters that you slot, like if you put Storm in your projectile assist, she'll launch lightning from it. But if you put her in your third character slot as your launcher assist, then obviously she helps you boot, like she puts out a whirlwind to shoot them up into the air and give you an air combo. And so the places where you put your characters, like figuring out where the characters fit, where their individual assists fit into your rotation, is going to be a huge part of this game. You can make an entire tier list just based on which assists work best in each slot, and I think that's going to be exciting for us all to discover. Combos felt very intuitive. It did not take long before I was like hitting the stuff that were like, I would get my starter up, I would knock them into the air, I would jump to the air with them, knock them around a bit, knock them back down, or cancel into supers. It felt right. Like, it didn't feel cheap. It felt like the movement was fast, it's quick, it's flighty, but it's fair, where it felt good when I hit the big damage on my combos. And conversely, like, it happened so quickly that you get back into the action pretty quickly, and it doesn't feel like you're sitting there just watching yourself get destroyed for a while. And obviously, like, we'll see people build longer combos as this game goes on and people learn more about it, but for right now, it felt pretty snappy. pretty snappy. You get back to the fight and it's fun. Even when I was like getting comboed because I was just preparing my next thing, I knew the timing. I wouldn't be waiting long to get back to the fight. Just as well, there are some very interesting defensive stuff in this game. I saw people comparing this game to BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, as opposed to most other combo fighters. When I got to play it for myself, I get it. It is that. For one, you have active tag. You call in your ally to assist you, and you can either outright like switch out with them if you're not being attacked, or you can let them launch their attack and then hold the button to switch to them.
KO!
You can also do kind of a counter reversal, which is dangerous, but also if it succeeds, then you get to use all of your characters at once. Well, all the characters that you've unlocked. So the way this works is that you press like the heavy and the medium button at the same time on your opponent, and there's 3 versions of it. One of them will just be an assemble attack where you just knock them. You do like a rush down attack based on how many of your characters are available. So if it's just 2 of you, it won't be a very long rush down attack, but if you have all 4 of your characters, it'll be devastating. Just as well, if you're being attacked and you're blocking your opponent, you can also take your turn back by risking an assemble counter, I think is what it's called. And it will basically interrupt your opponent's attack and hit them with any available team members you have. And conversely, if you expect that your opponent is about to do like an assemble counter, then you can counter their counter and do your own on top of theirs and beat theirs with a kind of like it's kind of like second guessing your opponent. If you think they're going to do it, then you can counter their counter and punish them for it and really rip them up. This game does have wall breaks, like Guilty Gear Strive, but it's not a looping wall break, like Guilty Gear Strive, where you'll cycle through stage after stage after stage if they keep like hitting you through walls. It's like a 3-piece panel, where you start in the middle, you can get knocked to the right side, and you can get knocked to the left side. But it doesn't loop. Once you get to one of those sides, there are actual walls that keep you from being knocked back through further walls. Well, actually, that could be a double-edged sword, because on one hand, you're not going to be continually getting looped and your opponent keeps unlocking characters and continuing to keep positive bonuses and pressure on you, but you're also risking being caught over in one or the other corners and just getting demolished as you try to figure out what to do. This shaped up to be very fun. I very much enjoyed Storm. She has this ability where she can blow air forward or blow air back, and she can plant little whirlwinds and launch them forward and launch them back. So she has characteristics that are kind of like if folks played BlazBlue, kind of like Rachel Alucard, but on a Storm kit. And I think that's really dope. She also had a freeze command grab, which I think is going to be really interesting to set up combos with. Altogether, I was floored by what I experienced, and I think I'm going to end up having to be a Storm main, although I'm really digging Tony in that new armor. Dr. Doom was dope as heck. Cap is looking interesting because he has his shield throw, and he can mess with the directions of it. He can jump into the air and throw it directly at the ground and make almost a wall of shield ricochets. I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of stuff people do with the angles and tricks of that shield, like keeping up the pressure as it ricochets around the screen. Star-Lord is kind of the fast one of this game. He's feeling very mobile, very awesome, and very flighty. And Miss Marvel, she seems like she's going to be tricky just because she can stretch directly in one direction, but she can also go up and down as far as she throws her arms around. And she's just got some wide range. Like, she's a good stretchy character. I like her. It's still early. We still have a lot to see. We only got to see one stage, and we only got to see these 6 characters. But getting to feel these mechanics in play, they are cooking with gas here. They are cooking some very cool stuff here. In some ways like classic Marvel, but it also felt like many of the things we love about Arc System Works games. Like, if you liked BlazBlue Tag Battle at any point, I think that you're in for a treat with this one. But even then, like, I think that it does, like, capture that speed and that tacticality. Those assists and their assigned slots for what they do are going to be very interesting to play with, and I can't wait to see the compositions and strategies that people come up with. We're getting a beta of this game in September, so stay tuned for more. This has been TJ Denzer, Senior News Editor for Shacknews.com. If you like what we're doing, be sure to check out our website at shacknews.com, and be sure to check out our YouTube channels and our socials to keep up with what we're doing. We'll have more EVO coverage for you coming soon. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.